Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about my coming out story and my experience and what else happened during my journey of my coming out story. So it all started out, I came out on September 2013 to my parents, well, to my mom. And it literally, I took a screen cap of what time it was, and it was 7:04 when I told her. So, let me give you some back history to all of this. So, the day I came out to my mom was really not the day I wanted to come out. I was going to school normal, like, the usual. I was in 8th grade, and, I kind of really didn't have that many friends in 8th grade. So, I remember one day, it was in my science class, and these kids were giving me a hard time. They were like, oh my god, you're bisexual, you're gay, whatever, just say it. And I got peer pressured into saying that I was, they always gave me a hard time since like 7th grade, and at the time I had already gone to counseling because I was bullied. And during counseling, they would ask me if I was gay or bisexual, and I never told no one, not even my friends, no one. No one knew that I was actually gay or bisexual. It was the day I was in science class. They were giving me a hard time, and they were like sugarcoating it, like, oh, if you come out, we'll be fine with it. We'll like you as friends or whatever. And I was kind of peer pressured, and knowing that, like, they said that I would be their friend and they would be my friend and all that. At the time, I really didn't have many friends, and I was really depressed still. I was taking there were like these depression pills and sleeping pills because at the time I could not sleep. Like I was saying, I ended up coming out as bisexual because they peer pressured me to come out as bisexual. But the thing was, I came out as bisexual because, it was easy for me kind of to like explain to someone. So I remembered that I told everyone I was bisexual and everything that day, and it felt like something lifted off, like at least someone knew I was something. And then I remember that day I kind of felt bad because I always wanted to tell my mom first what I really was, and I wasn't ready at the time, which I really didn't want it to happen like that. I remember going home and telling my mom, like at the table, like, I need to talk to you, and she had just came from work. And she was like, give me some time. And I was like, oh, okay. So I remember it was like around 6:40. And I was telling her, I was like, oh, I've been meaning to tell you this, but I don't know how to tell you. And I was like, oh, do you know what this means and this? And she's like, yeah, I know. And I told her, like, I didn't really expect this from her, but I told her that I was bisexual. And once I told her I was bisexual, she, like, stayed like this, like shocked. I was thinking, oh, she's kind of taking it hard, I don't know. I didn't really know what it was. And I ended up noticing that she started crying. I started crying. She told me that she was kind of saying, oh, you're my child, I understand all this, but yet she would be like, oh, wait, but this is probably a phase, so you'll probably get over it. And I was like, no, I doubt it. And she kind of thought that. She left that behind her mind. Like, she really didn't mind it until, like, I remember I was like, you know what, since I'm part gay, and also another reason I came out as bisexual because it was kind of easier for me to make my mom think that I was gonna, at least she had hope in me that I was straight or normal, because that's kind of something I wanted her to feel. And, it was really hard. That's kind of how I came out. I came out as bisexual first. One day I had painted my nails because, gay/straight, whatever. I really didn't feel like straight at all, but I painted my nails, and I remember this day really like certain. We went to the park, and I remember I was wearing a red shirt and had red nails on and everything. I felt confident, everything, until my mom saw me with like my red nails, and she's like, what is that? And then like I was like, nothing. And I kind of was like, and she was like, what is that? Tell me right now. And I was like, what? And she's like, let me see your nails. And like the thing was, there was a bunch of people everywhere, and I felt really like emotional. I was like, and I remember her telling me like, let me see your nails. And then I was like, okay. And then I showed her my nails, and she screamed at me, and she was like, why did you do this? And like, once we get home, you're gonna take this off. And I was really shocked that she like approached me that way, like in front of everyone. I really felt ashamed of how she approached it like that. And I didn't, I went, once I got home, she screamed at me and she said, take it off right now. She gave me nail polish remover, and I remember I was taking it off, and when I was taking it off, I was just crying in tears. And I don't know, it just felt hard, like my heart broke into a million pieces, because knowing that like my mom didn't like that, I felt really bad. So I remember in my mind, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this because of one person. I didn't care that it was my mom at the time, because I didn't really have no friends at the time. I didn't have no one, and everyone at school basically, well, some people, they laughed at me and all these other things. And I remember, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna paint my nails. I don't care what my mom says. And I remember I would paint my nails every day before my mom left, and then when I would walk to school. And let me tell you, it was 30 minutes from my school back and forth. And I remember every time I would put on mascara as well. I remember every day I would run to my house and take off the nail polish before my mom got there. And yeah, I ended up finding, she never found out that I painted my nails or anything. And I remember at school, people would judge me and everything, but I really didn't care. And then I remember that I started making YouTube videos and all this before, and my mom ended up finding out that I used to do this, and she kind of told me, why are you doing this? And I was like, fine, I'll stop. And I also stopped because, you know, I was really depressed, and I really didn't want to like share any depressing feelings out there. And well, I I went on to ninth grade, and I remember at the time I didn't wear makeup. I stopped doing all of that. I was normal, you can say. I was still debating on what I really was. And I remember I would watch this show called RuPaul's Drag Race, which is like men that would compete like dressing as women. Just look up drag queens and you'll find out. So that show really inspired me a lot, because it showed me that you should be who you really are no matter what. And that you can be a supermodel of the world, and no, and everyone's gonna judge you no matter what. So anyways, that really inspired me, and I remember I was like, what if I want to do that? And I kind of related to that in a bit, but I was like, I don't really want to do that, because I was scared. So I was like, I don't know. And let me tell you, in a million years, I would never think that I would look like this in front of my mom. I would walk like this in front of my family. Never. I never thought of it. Until I remember the day when Caitlyn Jenner came out. And her, like, her news and everything, like, her documentary, you can say, I think. And she told her family, and I was like, I want to be just like her. I started watching, like, I didn't really know what transgender meant until, like, I read it. And once I, like, read it and understood it, it clicked to me. And I told myself, I am transgendered. And once, after that, I was like, you know what? I want to be a girl before I graduate. You know, I want to, like, stop dressing like a boy and be really who I was. And I remember the first time I told my mom, she was like, are you sure? I was like, yes. Like, she saw that I really wanted to do it. And even though my mom at first was not really supportive, she ended up being supportive and understanding more over time, because I understand it's really hard to see your kid, like, come out, like, really do certain things. And I saw it in my mom, and once I came out as transgendered, I told her that I wanted to dress like a girl, but we didn't really do anything. Like, she was like, oh, okay, but we didn't take, like, oh, she didn't start buying me clothes or anything. I had to tell her. And I remember homecoming week at my school was coming, which every single day you get to do something different, a different activity and everything. And I remember on a Thursday, we had to do character day, meaning you could dress up as like a costume or anything. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna dress up as me. And I'm gonna show both of my sides. I dressed up half girl and half boy. You know, the first that day I was really like scared. I was like, oh my god, what are people gonna think? And you know, the only thing I was listening to that day was RuPaul, because he inspired me a lot. So I was listening to him and inspirational music and all those type of things. And I remember just walking the halls and everyone giving me like, what's wrong with him? Like, I remember like when I was leaving school, like already home, like kids were staring at me and laughing at me, saying tranny, fucking tranny and all this shit, you faggot, whatever. And I remember that. And after that day, I started wearing makeup, you know. I was like, I already did that little step. I can start doing step by step. And I started wearing my mom's makeup. And after that, the first $20 I got that week for babysitting, I went and spent it on makeup. And I got me makeup, you know, it didn't matter what brand or whatever. And I wore makeup to school every day until this summer. I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to school as a girl. I'm not going to just wear makeup. I started letting my hair grow out and everything. And it was actually hard. The first time I started wearing makeup, I was really scared. Like going to the store, I literally stayed outside the store because I was really nervous of everything that people were going to think. And I remember just like my heart beating every time someone new saw me, like my mom's friends, like, oh my god, what are they gonna say? Are they gonna still like my mom? And you know, it took a lot of time and it was really hard still. Sometimes it's hard, but you know, you get over it. And I rather do it now because, you know, I didn't want to regret it. You know, I didn't want to be like 20 years old and be like, I wish I could have done it. So, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I tell everyone that if you want to come out as trans, anything, just be ready. Like, I feel like it's like having a baby. You're never ready to do it. Like, I wasn't ready at all. Like, like, because of those kids that bullied me, I came out. Not saying that it's a good thing that they did that, but, you know, I kind of thank them in a way for doing that. But it was really hard for me, and it's not an easy path, as like I'm saying. Even this year, it's still kind of hard. And yeah, I just want to tell you guys this because I want y'all to know that all your dreams do come true. And I never thought in a million years that this would happen to me. And I'm grateful that I am like transitioning. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you guys and just inspire y'all in a way. So thank you guys and have a nice day. And sorry about the bad lighting, I'm sorry. And if you like these videos, just comment below or like it, and it'll make sure that I can share more videos like this to you guys. So yeah, thank you guys.